Hello and welcome to Cucina Pazzo. Tonight we're going to be doing some macadamia crusted rockfish fillet. So this is something that I caught back in September, had it previously frozen. It's nice and thawed right now, and I'm going to show you how I put this together. We're going to make it low carb, so it's really easy to make this high carb. So I'm going to show you some of the ingredients that I use and some of the techniques that I use. And this is just as delicious and just as tasty as having all the carbs, except it doesn't have all the carbs. So I'm going to show you what I use. So first we're going to start with some coconut flour. This is what we are going to first put the cod fillets in when we take them out. So we're going to take, let's see, probably about 4 tablespoons. I'm going to move this down here so you can see what I'm doing. Got my little 3-compartment dish here. 1, 2, 3, and we got 4. Okay, so we got 4 of those. All right, we've got about half a cup of Parmesan, world's best Parmesan. So the Parmesan, I could probably bread this with just the Parmesan, but the macadamia nuts add an extra layer to it that is just outstanding. So we're gonna take our pink pepper, or I'm sorry, our pink salt, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, we'll give it 5 just in case. All right, give it a little bit of pepper. We'll give it 3 cranks of the pepper. We've got some smoked paprika. So the smoked paprika, we're gonna put about a teaspoon in there. So we got a teaspoon. So you use regular paprika, it's no big deal. So, all right, so on garlic, I am Italian, you gotta have garlic in everything, right? So we're gonna put about a teaspoon of garlic in there too. Might seem like a little much, but we're gonna add some macadamias to this as well. So, and of course we're gonna add some eggs to it. So let me show you the macadamias. So the macadamias, I chopped these myself with this chopper. So these are the macadamias that I use. So they are so delicious. They're already roasted. I want to show you how easy this works. So I just got a couple of those there. So I did it about 20 times. So like so. So there's some rough pieces in there. There's some finer pieces in there. It'll save you some chopping in the long run. So there are some things that I chop by hand, like for example, the parsley that I'm gonna use. So properly show you the technique on the parsley. Take your knife, you notice your chef's knife, it has a bow to it. Let me see if I can put this under here. It has a bow to it. So this tip goes down the whole time as you're cutting. So if you just put your hand like so and rock it back and forth, and you find that you can chop really fast. You chop like a pro. And you can get the sizes that you want, and your hands are nowhere near the blade. So very, very easy to do. So with that being said, we have a tablespoon of fresh parsley that we're gonna add to that. All right, so to the Parmesan that we're going to add, we're going to take half a cup, which should be pretty close to what I have here, is half a cup. There we go. That's pretty close anyways. It's a little more than half a cup. So add that to that mix. So keep in mind, the nuts have salt. Parmesan has salt. So I did add a little bit of salt to it. So we're gonna add a little bit of butter at the end. And I will merge the videos and show you that as well. So make sure to break apart all the pieces there. So it's okay if you get it in here. We could always take it out of that section. So the smoked paprika is more for color. This will make it look like it's breaded. So like it's an actual flour type breading. So it will make everything turn a golden color. So, all right, make sure that's nice and mixed, easy to do, no big deal. Okay, so in order to get this coconut flour here on this side to mix, we're gonna do some egg whites. So egg whites really aren't that tough. So if you take your eggs, we're gonna do 2 eggs. So that one broke on me. So we are gonna just take that one out, put that there. So take this egg here, drop it in there. All right, so with your hands, quick like a bunny, grab your egg yolk like so. So probably the easiest way to separate the egg yolks, like so. All right, wash your hands real quick. Paper towels are great. So, all right, we're gonna take our egg yolks, we're gonna set them to the side. We're not gonna use the egg yolks, okay? So, not to dirty a lot of things, but give this just a little bit of a mix, okay? So you could add a little milk to this if you want. I mean, I'm not going to because I'm not making that many fillets. I'm making, honestly, 2 fillets out of this, so. All right, we're gonna move some stuff aside. Make sure we get our pan ready. So we have our pan. All right, so I'm gonna tip this back up so you can see me. So we have a few things you can put on the pan. Olive oil. I love olive oil. It's great. So if you don't want the olive oil flavor, you have a couple other options. You have coconut oil, also very good for you, has MCTs in it. You have avocado oil, probably just as good as extra virgin olive oil, no flavor. So avocados are really great for you if you're eating low carb. So I think today I am just gonna get I'm Italian, so get my brush, put a little olive oil on there. What is that, probably a teaspoon, right? We're not putting a lot on there, just enough to get it not to stick. Doesn't take a lot, all right? Just in case it slides around on the pan. I mean, this isn't gonna take up that much room. All right, we're gonna move this off to the side. Okay. So, got our egg whites here. And I just broke them up a little bit. The reason I'm believe it or not, they are kind of stuck together. When you hold this up, see how they're kind of stuck together like so? So you just give them a quick whip with the fork and break them up a little bit. We're gonna put them in this container, okay? I could leave them in this little bowl, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to do it this way. So, all right, so we take, where's our pan? Our pan disappeared on us. All right, take our pan, we're gonna set it right here. We're gonna take our fish fillets, which were previously rinsed, so I'm not gonna rinse these. You could rinse them, you could towel them off. I'm not going to, so it's fine. I might open these up over the sink just in case they're a little bit wet though. So this has been thawing out in the sink. It is not quite room temperature, it's still cold. All right, I froze these when they were very, very fresh, okay? Hold on 1 second. All right, so we got our filet sitting there. Take our knife, try not to dirty too many things here. So keep in mind that there are a couple of sections here. I could either cut it like so and have one long section and one fat section. I can cut it like so, and I think, because I see this piece that's separated right here, I'm just gonna do one long section and one fat section, okay? They'll probably cook about the same because they're about the same thickness. Okay, see how thick that is? You could cut these into strips, like if I wanted to cut this in half, which I think I might do You know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll cut this in half like this, and I might put these in a taco. So you could put these on a salad, you could put them on a taco. And I'll cut this like this. We'll have 4 pieces. So these will cook in like 10 minutes. I mean, these will be really, really fast. So, all right, so we're gonna put these in here. Okay, like so. Real easy. Back in the egg wash. And let's get a spoon here. Just because I know my hands will stick to this like crazy. So we're dredging this in there. Okay. And wait till you see how these come out. I mean, there's one. Make sure all the sides are really coated on this. All right. On our nice battered. Get that in there. So if you run out of an ingredient, you could always make more. So I can get more egg whites, of course. So this seems like a lot of breading. I think a lot more will stick to this than you believe. So these just make incredible fillets. Okay, you don't want to cake this on. You want it to be able to stick. So you could even let these set up, and as a matter of fact, you should let them set up. I'll probably, in the future, if I do this, I'll probably let these sit in the fridge for a few hours. So, but I'm kind of hungry tonight. I want to get these in the oven. These will take about 15 minutes in the oven. They'll be crispy. It'll have a crispy breading on there. So it will shock you how crispy the breading will be. So I've seen some other recipes, pork rinds, that kind of thing. This is more low carb. It's a better fat for you. So notice my hands are getting a little bit caked up. So give them a quick rinse if you have to. Make it easier to deal with what you're doing. So the egg wash is just to get everything else to stick on there. So coconut flour absorbs. I mean, that's its goal, is to absorb. It also adds, a little fiber content to this, to be perfectly honest. So, all right, so we're running out of that. It was just enough for that. Okay. An alternative to the spices I used, you could use Old Bay seasoning in there. I would suggest adding a little bit of salt on there. So this is what we have here. These are going to go into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll pull them out and let you see what I've got. All right, we're back at Cucina Pazzo, and I'm going to put together my fish taco that I have. So I'll bring you over to finished product. So just so you know, you want to, I put a thermometer right in there and temp out at like 160. So 145 is done on fish. So I did that for 10 minutes. Probably could have gone for 8 minutes. Would have been fine, but better to err on the side of caution. Make sure that your fish is done. I do suggest temping it out every single time. So I have, this is not necessarily a keto meal, but it is a low carb meal. So I've got these carb balance tortillas. So each one of these is 4 carbs for each one. So take one of these tortillas, right? So we're gonna put this before I do this, I'm going to show you this. So this is my arrow garden right here, and it is exploded with lettuce all over the place. So I just washed these scissors. So they're the kind that you could take apart. They're really cool scissors. So you take them apart, put them back together. So we're going to snip a few pieces off of this, the big pieces anyways, or at least try to get to some of the big pieces, let the other ones grow. So I believe this is romaine lettuce that I have here, which will work really good. If you wanted to make wraps out of it, you could do that. So put this back down here. Doesn't get any fresher than that, fresh right off of the plant. So we're going to stack this up like so. We're going to take our scissors. So being as it's grown on my counter, I'm not really worried about dirt being on it, bugs, all that kind of stuff. You can kind of monitor that stuff really, really easy. So got a little bit of salad going there. So this is the dressing that I'm going to use, right? So this Ken's dressing, it says it's 4 carbs, but that's for 2 tablespoons. So I'm not quite going to put a tablespoon on there. So we're going to put about a teaspoon on there. All right. So we're going to add a little bit of lettuce to this. We're going to take one of our fish fillets here, pick it up gently, and this has had time to rest a little bit. And there we go. I might add a little bit of Parmesan cheese to that, but it already has cheese in the breadcrumbs. So there we go.